Testing, testing, one, two, three. Can you hear and can you see? Lights are on, we're good to go. Welcome to the live stream show. We're turning conversations into visibility. This live stream's built for me and you. Big ideas on display. Mic check, smile, let it roll. Every comment in the flow. Ready now, we press play. Hold tight, don't look away. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Can you hear and can you see? Testing, testing, one, two, three. This is where we all can be. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Hear and can you see? Testing, testing, one, two, three. We all can be. Mic check, smile, let it roll. Every comment in the flow. Ready now, we press play. Everybody knows the way. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Can you hear and can you see? Testing, testing, one, two, three.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you feel the energy that comes with this new intro, this jingle? I just love
Very cool. It's very cool, man. I just love that.
it gets your blood flowing. It's full of energy. And I was sitting here last night and thinking to myself, all right, when I do and conduct a test, I'm usually playing intro music from other shows that I create. But I felt creative last night. I need something that is unique and exclusive just for tests, just to get the blood flow going and the energy going and getting us all pumped up. I'm on camera. I just want to be able to check a few things. We're going to talk a little bit about a new feature that LinkedIn has rolled out. Let's play around with the scene. Let's change it. Let's change the color. There we go. Got a little bit of blue going just to blend right in.
Ah, you got lights on. You got lights now.
I got lights now. I keep throwing. Here, hold on a second. Let's try something here for a second, really quickly. I can play. See, get the disco lights.
I got one of these.
Yeah.
I got one of these. I got one of these setups. They're cool, aren't they? They're so cool.
They're great, and I can also play with the colors.
Yeah.
Along with my ring light, just to give me a little more tone or a better complexion if I change the lighting.
Yeah.
It works in a whole variety of ways. All right, let's jump off camera and let's go back to the. There we are. All right, how you doing, Keith?
Oh, I'm going really well. It's Tuesday morning here. It's our winter, but it's quite a mild winter. So I'm just hanging out the back of the house doing, you can't go live every day. You got to do some prep. So I'm doing some prep, just wrote a little bit of a theme song for tomorrow's show. Sort of a bit of a World Cup theme, Canada 6-0. They're on a roll.
6-0. We're making history in real time. We've never scored 6 goals. We've never hosted a live soccer match on home soil. We got the momentum.
That's right. That was in Vancouver, wasn't it?
That was in Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah. So 6-0 at home. It's the first time we've ever won a game in the World Cup.
It's the first time we've ever won a game, yes. So a lot of firsts happening. And happening on home soil, which is nice.
It's unbelievable.
It's quite the tournament. They expanded it this year to, I believe, 48 teams. So it becomes very exhausting if you're following everything, and if my dad absolutely loves watching the soccer. But you can go from sunrise to sunset during the group play and do nothing else all day because it's just one match after another. So
And how's Portugal going? Because he's from Portugal, isn't he?
yeah, Portugal tied their first game. They didn't play well, to be honest with you. I watched that game, and a part of me, there's a lot of pride in being Portuguese, but there's a lot of prima donnas on that team, and a lot of showboating, and I think they took their opponent for granted, and they're lucky they walked out with a draw. Is how
Who'd they play?
they played Bosnia.
Oh, okay. Well, they're pretty good too.
So tomorrow, tomorrow 1 p.m. Eastern time, they're playing. Is it Kazakhstan?
Okay.
So,
Hopefully they'll win that one and they'll progress. But you're right. It's something you could do all day. I mean, I thought there was 16 groups of 4. Is that right? 16 times 4. What is that? Well, that quick math, going 56.
no, fewer than that. Okay, or 56, and then 32. But up until this year, it was only 32. And
so now it's 64. 64.
That's
Yep,
right.
64 and down to 32, down to 16,
right,
down to 8,
right.
down to 4, down to 2. Yeah. Well, Australia's second in its division, so we might end up beating you one day.
It's possible. It's possible. The Socceroos.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I attempted to do this last night and it didn't work as designed. So I'm at it again tonight. And LinkedIn has launched a new feature, a new event management feature that allows creators, hosts, and admins who work LinkedIn Live events to be able to create short video clips using the video editor feature to share and promote their events. So that's something
Got a
new.
video editor now.
It's got a video editor embedded. Now here's the caveat. It's only available for those who host LinkedIn Lives from their LinkedIn business page.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I have a LinkedIn business page. I set that up about a year ago. I did have to create a new channel on Restream to connect my LinkedIn business page to. So we're streaming live to LinkedIn business page as well as YouTube. And I want to be able to compare clipping and creating shorts on YouTube and clipping and creating shorts on LinkedIn. And we're going to compare the two, and this could be a whole show of its own. It'll probably find its way into my school classroom as a lesson for those who might be interested in live streaming on LinkedIn exclusively.
Well, we got a show on Wednesday for you on school, so that would be, you might have time to have researched it by then.
I would say so. I can't imagine it taking too much time to create a couple of shorts and have a quick observation as to what it looks like, what it feels, how easy it is to navigate and create. And I should have an update for us on Wednesday. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a few other things going on. I heard, or it came across my feed, and something else for us to test. Restream now has this feature called widgets, and from
I did see that.
my understanding, you can now embed polls and you can embed a variation of tools, sort of like what we tested a year ago with that other streaming service.
Effie,
yes.
Yeah, I think as this particular format becomes more mainstream, that's the right word, people are going to start saying, well, look, I can do this stuff myself from my house. And there's a lot of really great services that charge a bucket of money for this, and you can go into a studio in the city and look like $1 million, and it makes you look like you're on the TV, but it's a lot of money, a couple of $100 an hour, which is not a lot of money, but it's money. It's a budget you've got to find. So imagine if you could do this at home in your sort of spare room for $30 a month. I mean, it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, the only trade-off is your time. So you're paying $30 a month to have access to this portal. But how often have you and I heard, and many others, people will do it, and then it's like, wow, didn't realize it was that much effort to make you make it seem so effortless.
Oh, yeah. Look, I
Right?
mean, these very high level services, which are worth the money, what they do is that you turn up and they have the perfect mic and they have the perfect room and the cute little couch and the perfect lighting. And they've done all that. You don't even need to know what that means. You just sit down and talk, right? They record it and they send it back to you, right? And it's as easy as getting a taxi. It's actually a very similar analogy. You want to get to the airport, just sit in the front seat and I'll take you there. You don't need to know the way. I'm just taking you to the airport because there's a plane going in 2 hours. Just sit in the front seat, in the back seat if you want, and don't even have to talk to me. Just sit there and I'll take you to the airport. Right? And a taxi's form of it. There's a very good analogy for that service. Look, it cost us $150 to get to the airport from here. $150, but they turn up at your house. You're at the airport. You know you're going to get there. There's no bullshit. There's actually a plane leaving. You got to be on the plane. You don't have to worry about driving there, getting a park. It's a very good analogy. We could drive to the airport in an hour and a half, pay $20 for parking, and arrive. But then we've got to drive home, right? When we finish, like it's a lot of work, right? And I get it that people don't want to do the work. They might not know how to do it. They might not want to do it. So there is a place for both services. You know, you and I both use Restream. It's $30 a US, $30 AUD a month. But you get all these features, but you've got to play with them yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Like this feature, which Restream has a version of. So I'm excited to see what you might be able to do with it.
So I keep playing with it. You know, as well as I know, we both love to test things. We love pushing the envelope to see what it looks, feels, and how it reacts in real time and behind the scenes. You are dedicating the month of July to something along those lines. You're going to do a deep dive on Restream Studio and come out the other end, write about it, talk about it, and hopefully advocate for it.
Yeah, well, actually, this is a very good segue because what you're proposing here with LinkedIn's version, Substack has a version of this. And Substack does it two ways, though. You can pre-record without going live. And that's called Substack Studio. And I'm taking the month of July off to pull apart how it works. I don't know how it works yet. Someone's got to work it out. Someone's got to go first. So I'm just going to dive in, pull it apart, and then in August I'm going to come out of the cave and do a show about it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I think it has potential. It's very basic, but it's built into Substack now. It's completely free to use. And the power is that you can pre-record. Whereas what you're talking about here with LinkedIn Live is that you can only do it from a live show on a business account. So you've already got two levels. You have to go 2 levels deeper to get access. But I can't wait to compare the feature set.
And you and I love doing that, don't we? It seems like things come out at the opportune time. You're doing this in July with Substack, and LinkedIn has just rolled this out. So the timing couldn't have been better. And we can talk a little bit about the results as you touched on Wednesday when you and I have an exclusive event. You're temporarily moving your event over to school for us, and there's a lot of gratitude behind you doing this, because you could have easily just canceled or postponed your show until next Monday. But we're using the time, and we're going to repurpose you,
Yeah.
your your expertise in social audio sound check, and we're moving it um, this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time through till 10, and we're inviting everyone, both community members and non-community members. Come hang out. Come be a community member. If you like what you hear, if you like the experience, and you like what we're offering, whether you're new, intermediate, or seasoned at live streaming, come hang out with live-minded community members.
Live minded. Tell us about your community. It's thumping now. You've got over 100 people there now, haven't you?
So as of this morning, we were at 134 members, and it's moving slowly, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Some members are apprehensive as to whether or not they're ready, and that's fine. Everyone's going to find their moment where it's like, all right, let's rip the band-aid off and let's get this done. And I want them to feel comfortable doing that in this particular space, because it may feel different on their own domain because people might be watching. Here, you got like-minded people who are watching, and but not just watching, they're supporting you because they're on the same journey. Some are further ahead and some are trailing behind, but we're all on the same journey, and we're here to lift and amplify one another. Then there are others who raise the questions like, well, what happens after live streaming? So you're going to give me all this confidence, you're going to coach and mentor me, I'm going to go live, but I have friends of mine who are telling me, it's like, yeah, don't spend any time on live streaming, don't spend any time on podcasting. No one listens, nothing happens. And it's like, all right, well, I caution you that all the heavy lifting begins after each event. Listen, I'm the first to say live streaming is an absolute gem to meet and connect with people in real time, answer their questions, and be able to engage and provide an immersive experience. But if you turn your back on the assets that you just created, you, you're kind of selling yourself short. You're doing yourself
I agree.
a disservice. Take those assets, write a blog, redistribute in whatever format you believe other community members are hanging out, and share that message. Your tribe will find you. And if you're looking at this from a marketing lens, so on LinkedIn, more and more people are hearing me talk about a leaking LinkedIn Live. A lot of people have opinions. LinkedIn Lives, they're not effective. I can't sell. I can't do anything. Like, well, then you either can't do something because it's leaking, or you fail to see the opportunity to bring those people in, right? You and I have strong opinions and thoughts on email lists. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
But there's
Look,
there's an opportunity if you want to host an event and gate it with a registration key.
yep.
Hey, you can collect all the emails you want.
One of the things I'm really fascinated by, and I don't know if anyone's asked you this question, and it's something we can pick up on the Thursday for me, Wednesday for you show. If people are a bit nervous about going live and they're worried that no one will come, is there an advantage to going live over pre-recording? I'm quite fascinated to pull that apart. I know the difference because I do both, but when you go live, there's this thrill. It's hard to describe if you've never done it, but it's this thrill. And when people are live, there is a totally different energy when they're there
Absolutely.
to when you pre-record. When you pre-record it, unless you're very good, it can feel a bit stale, a bit staged, a bit fabricated, right? But if you're live, you're right there. You're pumped up. Can you explain that difference to people that may have not explored that before?
Okay, absolutely. We're going to take this live event as an example. This was impromptu. I did not push it out to anyone, did not promote it, did not say, hey, come on out. So this is a pop up event. I'm conducting this test, and I am grateful if someone were to pop in. But understanding going into it that there was zero expectations that anyone had to show up. And you're right, the minute someone pops in, it's exhilarating. You just feel a whole different level of energy because you now have someone you can interact with pre-recording, and there are people who advocate for it, and I'm not saying that it's not good. There is a home for that type of content, but to your point, when it becomes too polished, it almost feels like unnatural. It sounds too great. The production is wonderful. It'll do well in a RSS feed, but that's it. Once you upload it, you're at the mercy of watching your download numbers. You didn't have an opportunity to talk to anyone. You didn't have an opportunity to answer any questions, and you have no idea what the sentiment is because you've pre-recorded it, and all that emotion is left at the listener's discretion, and you don't experience any of it.
Yeah, there's advantages in both, and I've done both. But you know, the thrill, and this I wrote this song today about this, the game day vibe. You know, I might even read out the chorus because what we're doing with our shows is that we are right at the edge, playing around with stuff. That and look, it's not perfect, but someone's got to go first. Someone's got to work it out. So the chorus, it's about the idea that when you go live, there's this thrill, this exhilaration, this feeling of sort of aliveness, and it's loosely based on the World Cup, right? So I'm going to play this tomorrow on my show, but also maybe on Wednesday with your show. And the show is called, or the song is called Game Day Lights. And the basic idea is I'm locked in tight and I play my role. I let the scoreboard shine and let the story unfold. It's not perfect, but it's a natural high. So I gear up, stand tall, and hit live tonight, right? And you get it. Like you get what that means because we've been live, and there's this energy that comes from that. And when people are watching and they come in, the dynamic changes. That's why I love going live.
Let's pick up on something you just said. It's not perfect. It's in your lyrics, but it's also advice that we give. I know I give it all the time. It does not need to be perfect. Focus on presence. Don't worry too much on perfection or performance. Just show up. It will get better over time. If I were to look back at what I looked and sounded like a year ago, I'd never would have started. And a year from now, when I listen to today's conversation, I'll probably say to myself, I can't believe I sounded that bad, or I can't believe I missed that cue, or I had a few extra ums and buts, and it just gets better over time. And here's the other thing that live allows a little more forgiveness for ourselves. You're shooting from the hip. That energy and adrenaline should elevate you enough that you're good with one take. When you're recording, you have the ability to judge. It's like, I didn't like that. Can we do it over? Can we start? Right?
You know, you don't know until you know. You don't know how tempting that is. Oh, let's go again. What do you mean
Yeah.
go again? It was good. No, but it wasn't like that. Right there in the third minute, I sort of ummed it on the third sentence. Well, come on, you're a real person. You know, you could spend all day getting it right, and then it feels like, I don't know, blancmange. You know, it feels like custard. You know, it's perfect and sweet but nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's a reality people face. Like, I'll catch myself when I'm trying to create short video content. It's like, I didn't like that, and I go again, and I'm just putting together a 30-second snippet. So I know people do it, and they get inside their own heads, and that's why, if given the choice, just let's go live. It's unscripted. We have an idea of what we're talking about, and if you're staying in your lane and you're talking about your area of expertise, you shouldn't need a script. You should be able to talk naturally about what
I
you
think
what you know.
what you've said there, this is really important. What you just said there is really important. I know people that won't go live because maybe they don't feel or they don't feel confident they know what they're talking about. But if you can riff on the cuff, on the cusp of, just for fun, you can just riff in the moment, then you really do know what you're talking about. And that builds authority. Wow, he just made that up. And that's actually the reason I love Q&A. Like, I know a lot of people are scared about Q&A, but I love Q&A. I just love doing Q&A because people ask me a question and I don't always know the exact right answer, but I'm challenged in the moment. And I can tell you for sure, I've had some of my best interviews that way when they're off the cuff, because I've been doing it since 2008. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, and I get a chance to tell those stories. If you have all these pre-recorded, preconceived questions lined up and you're just reading a script, well, that, first of all, is very boring. But second of all, I think you've lost the opportunity to really prove to people that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I I totally agree. It's an opportunity missed when you try to script it. And each time someone asks me, "Can you send me some questions ahead of time?" I'm transparent. I'll say, "Listen, here's how I put a show's workflow together. I am going to search. I'll do an AI search and I'll do a browser based search. What is Keith Keller best known for?" And we'll use your name here. And what should come up is what you want to be recognized for, or the accolades that you've collected over the years. And I will build a show around you, the person, the professional, or the business, and ask questions that are in the public domain. Now, if what I find in the public domain is all fabricated, then you might as well tell me now, because I don't want to embarrass anyone. It's like, no, 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 everything is on the up and up. Nothing's made up. It's like, all right, so we're just going to have a conversation, because we're two people having a conversation. And if we can do that, you are going to have fun. You won't overthink the process. And I won't hear you rustling your papers trying to read back the answers to the questions I asked you.
Have you had this experience? I've had it many times, but I'd love to hear how you explain it. It's worse than boring. It's dead. There's no life in the story, is there? Have you had people reading your answers that you've given them, like a minute, rehearsed them and walked around the house rehearsing them, and they just read them out? What does that feel like to you as a host?
It happened to me once, and I think it was one of your stories that opened my eyes. You know what? I did it as a courtesy when people asked, and one time I got burnt because they were just reading it back to me. It's like, and then when you shed the light on how horrible it looks and feels from an audience perspective, listening to that, and even as a host, just waiting for them to finish, it's just a horrible experience. So from that moment on, I stopped it, just to put them at ease. Listen, we're not going to do a deep dive. Nothing's that I'm going to ask is going to make you feel vulnerable. It's all things that you should be able to answer with confidence, because it's in your wheelhouse. We're spotlighting you, we're spotlighting your business, and not going to ask questions that you shouldn't be able to answer.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing here with that LinkedIn thing. I can't wait to hear or see what you do with this, because we're just having a very sort of casual conversation on a Tuesday morning, still morning here, Monday night for you. We have a show coming up in a few days, which we'd love you to come to, but we're just chatting And because this is actually very important. As you do it more, you do it more. You learn more, you do it more, you've got more to say. And I love being interviewed and telling those older stories. Like I've never said this before. I only worked this out on the weekend. I was a musician from 1982 until 1996, 14 years in total, a very long time ago. I don't miss those days, and it was a long time ago. It's in my blood, but it's not who I am now. I've been doing podcasting since 2008, nearly 20 years. It's in my blood. It's who I am. And so the reason I mention that is because I've still got some muso friends. And I thought, I'm starting to have a little bit of trouble relating to them because it was a long time ago. But those stories from 1982 to 1996 were foundational for me because I was young and I was in that zone, moving to Melbourne, living in the share house, meeting my girlfriend, getting married, buying a house, these sort of foundational things. Now that's all in the past. Now I'm settling into my groove. This is who I am. I'm a podcaster, a live streamer, a dude. I'm settling into my groove. And I could riff for hours on this because I've been doing it since 2008. And I want to talk to people who are like that, who are doing it. They're not just coming up with some answer because they think I might get a quick sale. There's earthiness, there's humility there. There's this real honest sort of sharing nature. You and I both, we want to share. That's why you've got a school. Yeah. You want to share what you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And the school community has and will continue to have 3 tiers. There will always be a free tier for those who may not need the paid services or support that I offer. Because I just can't bring myself to charge for information and my opinion on what's already readily available for free online.
That's actually a very good point. But equally as importantly, if someone says, look, I don't mind coming on your show, but can you edit it? Can you sort of muck it up and mix it up and send me back 5 clips that are 3 minutes long so I can put them on my website? Yeah, no worries, but I'm not doing that for free.
Exactly.
Come on, I'm not doing that. That's hours of work. Come on. I'll send it to you. And no, I don't know how to do it. Well, see, I do know how to do it, but I'm not doing it for free because I could be at the beach now. I could be at the beach for free, watching dolphins, drinking lattes. Why would I want to be stuck in a room editing your videos? Right? Some people don't get that. They just hammer you home, don't they? They go you.
Yeah, and there's
all they can get.
Absolutely, and there's so much that is available for free in the community, and whether it's advice, and it doesn't necessarily need to be for me. There are others who are well versed. For instance, you're a community member and you're the social audio expert. So if I ever get asked a question, I know who to go to or who to point people in what direction. I'm not going to beat my chest and say, this is my community and this is what I know. There's no hierarchy here. We're all here at an even
that's
playing
actually
field.
Really powerful because we learn from each other.
Exactly.
One thing I'm really fascinated by, and I really want to pull apart this. What do you think this LinkedIn service will offer? What are you hoping we can do with it?
Well, I'm optimistic that it will offer something, but not a whole lot. Maybe not right now. I just clicked the link almost as if I knew you were going to ask the question. So create events. It allows us to create a max up to 20 short clips per recording. So it has a cap. I don't know if Substack has a cap. So there's one thing we can create. And your clips could be anywhere between 3 seconds and 15 minutes long. I don't know if it's by definition a clip, if you're loading 15 minutes of conversation. A clip for me is up to 60 seconds, maybe 90 seconds stretching it.
Yeah. Look, that's very interesting because we will do a show specifically about this. What Substack does, which is a direct competitor now in this for this exact feature, Substack allows you to load onto Substack clips of up to 5 minutes. Now that's probably too long, but if you really get a conversation going, 5 minutes could be decent. So what Substack does, in its ceremonial orange color, which is very symbolic of what they do, they have subtitles at the bottom. So they've got the image of you talking, either camera on, camera off, up to 3 people. You can then have clips of up to 5 minutes, which you can then load manually onto Substack. Right? Now that's a direct comparison. So now you're saying per show you can actually do 20 small clips from 3 seconds to 15 minutes. And we can experiment with what that means.
So just when you hated the 10-second clip, get ready for the 3-second clips on LinkedIn.
In 3 seconds. But here I am. But I tell you what, something I wanted to talk to you about. Karen did a video to promote her show. How did she do that? Was that AI? Have you seen it?
Not only did I see it, I created it.
How did you do? Because it was her face,
yeah,
and it sounded like her voice, but it also had that sort of 10-second AI look about it. How did you do it?
So that was AI generated through YouTube.
How did you get her face and her voice?
So the voice just happened to be a close match. That is not her voice, nor was it a clone of her voice. It was an AI generated voice that just.
Okay, that's what made me think. It's just one of the voices on file.
It was just sheer luck.
Yeah. But you can add a photo and it will pick up on the face, will it?
So you can take a still and add animation to it. And all you got to do is select the feature to change a still into a video. You can prompt it with whatever you want it to say, and it'll generate a clip for you. I've been testing the native feature on YouTube. I've been testing CapCut and a few other tools. And right now, everything that I've tested is all free and available on those particular domains. So it's amazing what you're able to produce.
I don't know. I wonder if you'll be able to get an Aussie voice. Who do I sound like? Hugh Jackman, maybe? I don't know. Who do I sound like? Hugh Jackman's from Melbourne, so he'd have the Melbourne accent. There is a Melbourne accent. We'd have to pick someone who sounds like me if you weren't going to clone me. And there would be someone who sounds like me. There's 6 million people here. Someone's recorded a video somewhere along the line. But this is fascinating. You take a clip of a person, a photo, it animates that face, and then you write out the text, and then you pick a series of voices, hopefully an Australian from Melbourne, and it sounds relatively similar to me. I'll be able to tell the difference, but most people probably won't.
Right. Absolutely.
And there's 3 components: photo, text, voice. And you could make it 10 seconds. Hey, we got this show. I mean, why don't we try it? We got this show coming up next week. It's going to be a game changer. Why don't you come? That's all you got time for, isn't it? Hello,
that's it.
My name's Keith. Why don't you come?
That's
all you got time for.
You can stitch them together, but if you're going to stitch it, you better have a voice clone that you can stitch across the multiple clips that you're creating. Otherwise, if it's just picking random voices, it'll sound like garbage.
Well, the reason why this is very, very, very important is hundreds of times people have said to me, oh, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. If you go to the 37-minute of the fourth video in the second playlist, you'll see me on the television. Yeah, well, look, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to the 37-minute on a video on your channel. Just send me a 30-second snippet. You do the editing and send it to me. Right? I'm not doing your work for you. And this happens like a million times. Oh, yeah, I was interviewed on the telly on this big telethon thingy, and on the 37th minute, I spoke really, really well. Well, get someone to edit it, take it out, and send it to me. Because I'm not scrolling through hours of video to get to the good bits. And so what you're saying there is so, so, so important. If we can find these little snippets that in some way replicate what we actually talk about in real life as real people, and give it to people when they're standing in line at Starbucks, having their double caramel macchiato with ice cream on the top, people are busy. Right? People are busy. We just want it right now. Don't make me work for it. And I think you're onto something. I think we between 3 seconds and 15 minutes, there's got to be a sweet spot.
There, I believe the sweet spot's in that 60 to 90 seconds. Because when you're in a attention economy, people only give you so much time. And I know how strong you feel on the 10-second clips. But there's a market for that. There's an audience for that. It might not be you and I, but we can't be remiss by the fact that we don't like it.
Because it is awareness, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's that Keith guy who speaks funny. When I go to Melbourne, I'll look him up. I have no idea what he's talking about. I can't even understand him. But when I go to Melbourne, I'm going to look him up. It's awareness. They're not really interested in what I'm talking about. They're just curious, right? You've got their attention, yeah?
And speaking of curious, we have someone listening in. I want to take a moment to say thank you. This was an impromptu test. Thanks for stopping in and listening. If you're in that mood where you want to join us, feel free. Drop a comment. Let's know who you are, how we can get a studio link and have you part of the conversation. Otherwise, enjoy listening to our conversation as we continue to test.
And isn't that just what we said?
Yes.
Now that someone's listening, the tone changes, the energy goes up, the excitement goes up. Who is it? Where do they live? Do they come in? Are they free? Can they talk? What do they look like? What do they sound like? What do they got to say? It's all of those things go through your brain, and suddenly the conversation is dynamic. It's not pre-recorded. It's not predetermined. Yeah,
absolutely.
We don't know where it's going. Please come in. We don't know who you are. Please come in. It could be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what you and I advocate for: that live interactive experience that you can't find many places, if anywhere. You look at radio, it's one to many. You have your radio DJ or newscaster, or they're talking to their audience. You might have an opportunity to call in if it's a talking show, but that's probably as close as you're going to get. TV, television, streaming services that are pre-recorded, sure, you can view it at your leisure, but you can't interact with it. You might be able to put comments, a review, but that is not a comparison to what we do or what anyone who live stream does. Podcasters, they put great conversations together. They upload them. People listen to them. You have a quantity of uploads, but you don't know who your listeners are.
Yeah, I've sort of, as a consumer, I personally have gone off podcasts because I can't ring in. Like I want to be part of the conversation. Like I don't know everything, but I want to be part of it. That's how I learn. We got a caller.
No, that was just me adding some effects for you.
Have we got a caller?
We do not have a caller. That was just me.
See, I got excited there. My energy changed. I picked up. So how do you do that? That's a really cool looking gadget. We can when we got a caller coming in.
Yeah, that I used one of my earlier shows. I created this animated overlay. I have a library of these that I
You
hold
can do
on
that
to.
in Restream now.
Well, you can upload them to Restream into the graphics widget.
Oh
So
wow!
so I'll create them on Canva, and like so all these overlays that I use here streaming to YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, these are all created on.
This is look. Let's spend a bit of time here. This is really important. Like the do-it-yourselfer can do everything that we can do. I mean, I can cook. Let's use that as an example. I can cook food, but it doesn't taste very good. You know, and I give my wife a rest sometimes, a couple of days a week. She goes, "Look, thank you, honey, for making an effort. I really wish I had to cook this myself because it tastes pretty bad. But thank you for having a go." And live streaming can be a bit like that. When you have a go yourself, you're doing it yourself. But you offer a service now where you can do this graphics, compelling, professional looking stuff, which sort of meets people halfway. It's live, but it looks good. Some of the things about being live is it doesn't look good. You know, I've seen people sitting in their bed at 10 at night going, "Hey, I got nothing to do. Thought I'd do a live stream in my jammies." Yeah, look, I don't need to be part of that. I don't need to see you in your jammies at 10 o'clock. I don't really want to have that image in my brain. And what are you doing? You're just lying down, talking because there's nothing on TV. I mean, that's not live content. That's not real. I mean,
That's
it's
what
real, but it's not good.
that's what TikTok after dark looks like.
Oh, is it?
It's just people sitting at their desk, sitting on the couch, sitting in their beds, sitting wherever, and they're just talking.
Is there a market for that?
Apparently,
Yeah.
because a lot of people watch that stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, you got to pick your lane.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay, pick.
my three lanes, make no mistake about it, are LinkedIn, YouTube, and Substack. That is where I'm hanging out. Now, if I were to work with someone whose audience is prominent on TikTok or prominent on Instagram, hey, we can connect your channels to our live stream, or we can set up a studio for you in your own domain, and you can give me um, access to be the admin to run your own domain. So it works either way. Just because these are the three lanes that I stick to doesn't mean they're exclusively the only lanes.
Well, but
Especially,
that's where collabs come in. Like,
that's right.
imagine I do a lot of work on Substack now, and I've noticed there's a couple of key differences in personalities. Certain people have a Substack account which links to their LinkedIn account. Right, they're my people. Right, so certain people have a Substack account that links to Instagram and TikTok. Well, I can't help you. I don't use Instagram and TikTok. I don't even know how they work, and I don't want to know. So they can come on my show, but I can't really be on their show because they're on Instagram and TikTok. So what I'd love to do, and I have done, is I love to hang out with people that do complementary things. Like, we know people that specialize in creating podcasts. Now, that's a very specific skill, and you've got to be very, very good to get that to sound right. Even more than the level that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's a skill. So if someone wanted to run a podcast, I would send them to someone else, because I know within my own brain that I'm not good at that stuff. I don't want to get good, right? And I know people that are good at LinkedIn, and I know people that are good at Instagram and TikTok, and I know people that are good at 10-second videos on YouTube. So I just send people to them. The collab brain, the collab mindset's very powerful. I don't know everything, and I don't have to do everything. Have you come across that too? Do you feel compelled to learn everything, or are you wise enough to pass it on?
I'm listen, a year ago when I transitioned from the 9 to 5 boardroom to where I am today, myself and many people like myself, you come out of a corporate environment having worn so many hats that you come out thinking, I can be everything to everyone. And just like in a corporate environment, if there's something I don't know, I can learn it relatively with ease and quick enough that I can add it as a supplemental service or an ancillary skill that I've just acquired. And we market ourselves as being all things to all people, despite the advice being you got to niche down, you got to stick to, two or three things, preferably one that you're really good at. But if you really want to stretch yourself, don't go beyond two or three. And I was in that same conversation. Everyone is adamant. No, no, I can do it. I did it in the corporate environment. But that is a completely different persona. That is a completely different energy. And some people who leave willingly, they leave because they hate that toxic environment, that hustle culture that burns people out. And those who leave, who are asked to leave through a retrench or a layoff, that's all they know. So that's how they want to build their personal brand is, hey, I can be all these things. I've acquired all this skill. I have all this equity built up from a career that now I want to pass it on to people. And if you sell yourself as being all things to all people, people won't want to buy from you because you're messy. There's no clarity behind your
That's
message.
right. I can do anything, man.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You want to come to my house and change my light bulb? No, I can mow your lawn. I can fix your car. I can paint your house. I can do your YouTube videos. I can cook your food. Yeah, can you? What, are you going to cook my food after changing my oil? Going to mow the lawn and then change a light bulb? I mean, what are you doing? I can do anything. And look, I don't hang out with people like that. I would prefer, if someone's going to mow my lawn, I want them to mow my lawn. If someone's going to cook my food, I'd prefer they cook my food. And I don't, never the twain shall meet. And it's a good skill to have. I'm really fascinated by how this will play out. Did we get some interest from that listener?
I don't see any comments, but that's fine. We're grateful just the same. I am looking over here, and this is the joy and the benefit of being off camera. I now have 3 monitors that I'm working on. And on one of the monitors, I have the LinkedIn breakdown for this new feature. What I'm not seeing, which is fascinating, because LinkedIn's video feed favors 9:16 portrait.
Portrait? Well, LinkedIn does.
LinkedIn does. Their video feed. Their video feed will boost a 9:16 portrait aspect ratio, while their LinkedIn Lives prefers a 16:9 landscape aspect ratio. This feature here does not give you the option. At least the instructions that I'm reading doesn't say that you can create clips in both 9:16 and 16:9. So that's one of the first things I will test and see what is available and how limiting it is, because Substack, I believe, does give you the option to.
Oh, both, yeah. In fact, it's really interesting, and let's do a direct comparison. So, for instance, this is how it would work on Substack. On Substack, if we did this recording, we would get side-by-side images of the people talking, and the writing, the subtitles would be on the bottom, right? In a sort of landscape mode, like you're watching it on TV. The same file made at the same time. If you did the portrait mode, it would actually have 2 people talking on top of each other, and the actual writing would be in the middle. Bloody clever. Same file. They can do both. They've worked out a way to do either or. And then when you go back and edit, you just simply select which of the 2 or both that you prefer. The writing in the middle, top of each other, side by side writing on the bottom. They both look good. It's just what you prefer. And you can do both. And I've tested both. And the top on the portrait mode does actually perform better as a video on Substack because people are on their phones. Visually, it doesn't look any good. It
Yeah,
doesn't look bad. I don't like the look, but it actually performs better in terms of engagement. I just love that. I love that choice, but it doesn't look like LinkedIn's going to give you that choice.
it doesn't today. From what I'm reading, it's not even an option. It doesn't even say that it will automatically generate a 16:9. It makes no reference to aspect ratio.
Yeah. Well, look, you've got 20 clips in, and let's say we finish it soon and it's an hour. You've got 20 clips. Does it automatically make them, or does it want you to make them?
Well, we're going to find out, right? This is part of the test.
Wow. Isn't it interesting how all of these sites are influencing each other? If you had said to me 5 years ago that LinkedIn is going to introduce a video feature where it makes clips for you, no one in the world would have believed you. No one. Not even LinkedIn experts. I'd be interested to know if LinkedIn experts have heard of this feature, because a lot of them haven't. They call themselves experts, but they don't know how to use LinkedIn. It's astonishing. I can't wait to see what this is, because I'm going to send them to all my LinkedIn expert friends saying, have you tried this? You heard of this? Wow. I know, this is a true story. I know people that claim to be LinkedIn experts, never done a LinkedIn Live. Not only never done one, never heard of it. I don't know if you've come across people that have never done a LinkedIn Live, claim to be a LinkedIn expert. Fair enough if they don't like the format, but some of them have never even heard of it.
I've called out a couple of LinkedIn coaches and experts in the comments, and despite what that may look like, truth be told, you can talk about your hooks and your rehooks and your long form content and your carousels, because that's what you're selling. That's your product. But don't call yourself a LinkedIn expert and just leave it at that, because it's a wider variation. And I've questions like, hey, how come there's no mention of LinkedIn Lives? And get no response and no engagement. Listen, LinkedIn Lives has, some have gone as far as saying, yeah, LinkedIn Lives are dead. It's like, yeah, they're not dead. Live streaming is here. It's not going anywhere. And in fact, the more AI we insert ourselves into in our day-to-day lives, the more people are going to crave these real-time conversations.
That's the point, isn't it? Real-time conversations. While we got you, though, and given that we are coming up to the hour, I want to give you the opportunity to reel through some of your really funky graphics, because I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. So can you reel through some of the really cool graphics, and this could be a little product demo for you.
Yes,
and
certainly.
can you explain how you did it, and how people can do it or come to you for it? What do you do here? You've got two people talking with a nice background. You can then add an overlay, yeah?
I can add the overlays on the bottom third. I can add QR codes. We can add some moving, or I guess animated. Let's cue it up here. Oh, this is native to Restream, but we can generate video overlays of our own.
And you use Canva for that, yeah?
I use Canva for this.
Yeah. Now, what this does, and I'd really love this, stuff like this. Take this. This is great. This is like off the charts great, because I don't know how to do this, and I'm guessing the average person that wants their live stream to look good doesn't know how to do this. You can change the background. You can add graphics. You can add the bottom third. You can have animation. And this all makes the process more engaging, more real in a way, more interesting, yeah?
Absolutely.
Because one of the things that's very important to say, this is very important. Most people don't know this, but the average person who listens, once you've seen the person speaking, you've seen their face, The other 57 minutes, you don't have to watch the video. You're just listening to it on your phone while you're doing something else. So we call this a pattern interrupt. This idea that oh, well, look, what was that? That looked good. What was that? You got my attention again. Sorry.
I got your,
You heard of this idea, the pattern interrupt, trying to get
yeah.
people in the zone? If you've just got two people talking with their camera on, and they do that for an hour, that's extremely boring. Yeah, but these pattern interrupts with little images and backgrounds, me sitting in a chair, and there's your voice and your vision and your stage. And, this could be the David Letterman show or whatever it is now. But
remember this episode?
I do remember, and this is the sort of thing that you can do with this format that makes it compelling. The information is maybe similar, but it's delivered in a different way. So suddenly people will take notice. You've got all these great graphics.
So we have the Storytelling Journey Studio, which started and it's kind of migrated from an audio event only to an on-camera event now. But when I do get asked the questions, like I'm camera shy, I'm not ready to be on camera, can we do this as an audio event? Absolutely. I've brought people in, and we have a studio set up. We'll hide the cameras, and we'll just have the audio like we have going on right now. You don't see the talking heads. All you see is the stage with the attendees, and we'll create these. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. I love the way that Lisa spells her name there, 2 eyes. That's very, very cool. So I think it's important that we do a little bit of a wrap up here for you, because these are what makes your shows much better. And in fact, could you play that song again to go out? Is that what you do typically?
I will play. Yeah, I will play a song to go out, and we'll play the testing 1, 2, 3 song. We debuted it today, and it's got a little bit of a pop, high energy, high tempo feel. So let's close it up, and at the end of the song, we'll shut her down, and I'll go see what I'm able to come up with on the back.
I think an hour is a good length. I don't want to keep you too long, because
absolutely.
you got to start the editing soon.
So thanks for tuning in to our listener, and come out on the other side. If you're not already a community member, that QR code will bring you into your stage live. Come hang out with us and come see the results of today's test. Bye for now, everyone.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey. Can you hear and can you see? Hey, hey. Lights are on, we're good to go. Hey, hey. Welcome to the live stream show. We're turning conversations into visibility. This live stream's built